What if you were the only person in the world who could cure someone of a devastating disease? And what if all it took was a blood donation? Would you do it? My hope is that you would. By signing up to be a blood stem cell donor, you have the chance to cure a disease that no one else can. Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm a critical care registered nurse, and I would love to tell you a little bit about blood stem cell donation and encourage you to become a donor. So let's just start with the basics. What are blood stem cells and what is a blood stem cell donation? So blood stem cells are immature cells that have the unique ability to develop into multiple kinds of cells found within the blood, like red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. A blood stem cell donation is the process of taking these stem cells from a donor and administering them to someone else through a transfusion. 90% of the time, these cells can be collected through a simple peripheral blood draw, similar to the process of donating plasma or platelets. The remaining 10% of the time, these stem cells are collected within the bone marrow. In this procedure, the donor is sedated and a small needle is placed within the hip bone and the marrow is then extracted. Now, I know nobody likes a blood draw or wants a small procedure, but a blood stem cell donation can literally be a life-saving measure. Blood stem cell transfusions are used as treatments and in some cases even cures for various cancers of the blood like leukemia, lymphoma, and multiple myeloma. These stem cell transfusions can also treat other non-cancerous diseases of the blood like aplastic anemia, polycythemia vera, and sickle cell anemia. Between these cancerous and non-cancerous diseases, a blood stem cell transfusion can treat or cure over 75 different conditions. With blood stem cell transfusions being such an effective treatment, you would assume that everyone who could benefit from a transfusion would get one, but unfortunately this is not the case. The determining factor on whether someone can receive this treatment or not is if a suitable donor match can be found. And that brings me to my next point on why we all need to be willing donors. Between the difficulty of finding a donor and the large number of people needing transfusions, every willing donor helps. In order to donate blood stem cells, the donor and the recipient have to have very similar biomarkers called HLAs, or human leukocyte antigens. HLAs are proteins found on most cells of the body, and they help our immune system recognize our cells as being a part of us. So if a transfusion were done where the donor and the recipient don't have matching HLAs, the body would reject the transfusion and the patient could become very sick. Finding a donor with compatible HLAs is difficult, even among families. According to the National Marrow Donation Program, the nation's registry for these donors, of those needing a transfusion, only 3 of 10 will find a match within their own family. In addition to the difficulty finding a donor match, there is an ever-growing population of those needing a treatment. Every 3 to 4 minutes, someone within the United States will be diagnosed with a blood cancer. The National Marrow Donation Program estimates that there are 75,000 people in the United States currently waiting on a donor, and only half of those 75,000 will ever find a match. To demonstrate this point further, I'd like to tell you about a little boy named Ryder, whose story has been published on the National Marrow Donation Program's website. To quote the article, "On the outside, Ryder is just like any other kid his age. He loves hanging out with his friends and his family, he plays at the beach in his hometown in Hawaii, and he's a big fan of M&Ms, especially the brown ones. He even loves going to school. But on the inside, Ryder battles a rare autoimmune disease called HLH. As his mom Isa describes it, HLH causes Ryder's immune system to go into overdrive. His white blood cells build up and attack vital organs and systems throughout his body." Close quote. Due to this disease, Ryder has to take daily medications and visit the hospital every 8 weeks for an infusion to help manage this disease. His only chance for a cure is to get a blood stem cell transfusion, and there is no one currently on the National Registry that is a match. Battling this disease is not new to Ryder's family. Ryder's older brother Raiden was diagnosed with a similar form of HLH as an infant, but has since been cured thanks to a willing donor who was a match. In 2023, Ryder's community rallied around him and hundreds of people were tested to see if they would be potential matches. Even the actor Jason Momoa showed up to see if he was a match. Unfortunately, no one was deemed a match, and little Ryder is still waiting for a donor. So what's the solution to helping people like Ryder all over the world who are in need of a blood stem cell transfusion? Well, the answer is simply to register to become a donor. I would encourage absolutely everyone to become a registered blood stem cell donor. The process is quick, easy, and it could save a life. To register, simply go to the National Marrow Donor Program, or Nmdp's website. Once you're there, click Register Now. You'll then sign up by answering a few questions about your age, medical history, and contact information. Once you're signed up, the Nmdp will send you a swab in the mail, and all you have to do is swab the inside of your cheek to gather some DNA, then mail the swab back with the prepaid postage. Your swab will then be tested, and you'll be placed on the National Registry, where you'll be listed as a willing potential donor. All of the nation's blood stem cell matches are evaluated through the Nmdp, so if you ever are a match for someone needing a transfusion, you'll be notified. Every year, you'll receive an email from the Nmdp asking you to reaffirm your willingness to be a donor and update contact information, but other than that, all you have to do is wait for a call. If you do receive a call that you've been matched with someone needing a transfusion, the Nmdp has made the process of donating incredibly easy. First, they'll just have you do a blood test to ensure that you truly are a match. From there, you'll be flown out to the location of the patient to donate. The Nmdp will cover all travel costs from the flight, hotel, transportation, and meals for you and a support person. They'll then pay for missed wages at work, childcare, and even pet care. You'll then donate, whether that's by blood or bone marrow aspiration, and voila, you've potentially just saved a life, or at very least greatly improved someone's quality of life. In conclusion, I would encourage everyone to register with the National Marrow Donor Program. Blood stem cell transfusions can be life-changing treatments for those suffering from diseases of the blood, and we have the opportunity to help. Every willing donor increases the likelihood that someone will get the treatment that they desperately need, and registering is quick and easy. I have been a registered donor now for 5 years, and while I haven't been matched with anyone yet, I'm grateful I'm on the list so that if my stem cells are ever a compatible match with someone who needs them, I can easily be found and help. So please go to the Nmdp's website and register today so that you can be ready to help, because if the time comes, you may be the only person that can. And these are my references. Please visit them to learn more about donating and to sign up with the Nmdp.